Hi, my name is Jeremy Smith. We're at the Fox Creek store on the Conejos River. We fished a friend of mine's property that owns Cañon Bonita and had an exceptional morning worth of nymph fishing. We started off with a double nymph rig with a semi amount of lead. This is typically where it separates all the fishermen. A lot of guys don't know how much lead to throw, and essentially what you want to do is just keep adding lead until you get into the area where the fish are hanging out. Fish all stage up through different columns of water, and in return, as a fly fisherman, we need to cover all those columns. We did that rather efficiently this morning, and in return we caught fish. The trick to catching fish on the Conejos River essentially is, one, you need tungsten beaded flies. Tungsten is super heavy and it will stay down in the water where we want it. Number two, you want some kind of rubber leg action. These fish really drive off of that. Whether it's in a streamer, even on dry flies, you can put rubber leg action on and have plenty of good success with that. The dead drift is, in my opinion, the number one thing. You cannot have any drag whatsoever. It has to float naturally through the water. If it doesn't do this, fish know this, and they'll turn tail and run from you. Once you get that figured out, you should start catching fish plenty fine. In order to get the drag-free drift, you have to mend. You watch on the video of how I lift the rod to make the mend. If you can throw a mend in immediately as the fly is hitting the water, a reach cast will help you do that. That will be the best way of getting you to go. You won't have any way of doing that once it's hit and caught the belly. A lot of guys can't lift their rod high enough, or don't know to lift their rod high enough to make the mend upstream. In return, you have to strip your line and keep the slack out. That way, so when you set the hook, there's no slack, you get nothing but fish. Always do a downstream hook set if possible, and kind of back at a 45-degree angle. This will assure a nice hook in the corner of the mouth. And the streamer fishing, we didn't have any production on that today. That's no problem. For the most part, that's a very early in the morning or late in the evening fishing technique. I like fishing it. You can throw it to multiple species of fish, not just trout, but bass, pike, carp, and then a whole ton of different types of saltwater species. Hope that you enjoyed the video today. I hope it was informative and something that you could find to your use. I would like to thank Mr. Lee Peeler for this opportunity and filming me. And then also, if you guys have questions or need information or a guide on the Conejos River, feel free to holler at me. I'm Jeremy Smith with the Fox Creek store. You can look us up online at foxcreekstore.com, and then my email address is foxcreekfishing@gmail.com.
It's funny how things are in this lawless land. A drunken man on the side of the road, tossing out his can. High desert, snow drift, thermal springs and snow. Prison next to a prison, high on the plateau. The sheriff rode to town, law man of decency. You as you do unto you, you do to me. The gateway to the San Juans runs through this valley floor. The narrow gauge don't run here no more. And police were in parades, and everything was okay in our high mountain Colorado home. Police were in parades, and everything was okay. Now this train hauls nothing but coal. This train hauls nothing but coal. Tomboy miner, you come to find your gold. Pans and your mule, gonna haul your load. Satin wands in the summertime, and life is but a dream. Next time you're cold, boy, gonna hear you scream. But you better be ready for the first snow. Done with your chore, and the Utes don't live here no more. As you leave, carry this one thought in your mind. There were people here way before tried to change the mind. And the police were in parades, and everything was okay in our high mountain Colorado home. Police were in parades, and everything was okay. Now this train hauls nothing but coal. This train hauls nothing but coal. In parades, thing was okay in our high mountain Colorado home. And police were in parades, and everything was okay. Now this train hauls nothing but coal. This train hauls nothing but coal.
And don't always watch just that indicator. That indicator is just to let you know that 4 feet below that is your first fly. So if you see a flash or a roll or something, you know, behind it, you'll know that something's going on. A lot of fish, especially really big fish that are smart, can eat so subtly that they don't move the indicator. So you're always wanting to look behind it to see if you roll. And I'm going to move around this tree, get into a little better location, deeper water setup. See if we can't find somebody living in here. There he is. It's a pretty powerful fish. Yeah, he got a lot of spunk to him for sure. Just keep the pressure on them, and don't let them run you up into the logs or anything like that. So when they get under a bank, there's roots and all sorts of crazy stuff sticking out. So you just keep the pressure on him. Let him run if he wants to. And on these guys, you can't tear them out of the holes, so they're pretty well spooked. Whatever we got in there, that's all right, because he's a nice fish, as long as he don't get me in those root systems. Keep the pressure on him, and you can pull him back out. You'll feel him tiring out. And this is why I like a sage. You can put the serious bend on them and they hold up. So we're going to try to walk him down here. You want to stay with them as much as possible. If they get below you, they're going to get off. He's a pretty decent little fish. He's very fired up at the moment. We're just going to let him do his thing until he feels like he's good and worn out. And the key to it is to skate him into the net, which I did not do. He's just not quite ready to give up yet. And to skate them, you just get them on top of the surface, net below them, and in the net they go all pretty light. We'll set him here in the water where he can get him a drink, get this old nasty hook out of his face. So essentially, whenever you do catch a trout, a good way of handling it, one, always wet your hands. But back here at his toe, you can clamp down on it. It's just a muscle. You won't hurt it. That way you can pull the fish up. And when you pull the fish up, you want to cradle him and hold him to where you can get a nice, great photo shot. And then when you're ready, you can give them another drink. They're going to get hot again because you put them back in the water. And you can just let them chill here and get as many photos as you want. The key to it is when you release them, be sure that you release them in a manner that they are revived, head upstream, good water flow over their gills, and they'll take right back off and live another day so another fisherman can catch them. Big mend upstream so you achieve that drag-free drift. Then just let it float down. That indicator moves, you set on them. I'm going to try to get one out on that further side. See if we got something living over there. Little guy rising. Little roll cast, where you want it. This is a good fish, really good fish. This is a chunky monkey. It has a whole lot of power to him. Don't get me in that tree, dude. We're gonna have to go down river with this guy. I don't think I'll be able to get him up through this mess here. So what we're gonna do is walk him down river. That's a good fish. Ate the first fly, big stone. Let's see if we can't get him into the net just right here. Shit, he's powerful. Okay, I'm gonna have to get downstream of this guy. Pitch my net. Hopefully do this as gracefully as I possibly can. Don't go under there. Alright, so we got him down below the obstacles. Now the key to it is to get to him like we did the last one. Come here, big boy. Let you wrap me up. This way. Into the net it goes. Nice fish. He's already unhooked himself and managed to roll himself up into a nice ball.